Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. A shout out to drone enthusiasts everywhere, and as always a shout out to my friends at the Drone Seekers, and a special shout out to Ryan Duvall of RD's Drone Reviews. Why do I say that? Because Ryan, in that big box of drones he sent me that I did a video on the other day, sent me the BUGS 6. So let me give you a little background. We were in a conversation in a chat on a live show, and I mentioned that, hey, I've mostly just flown GPS drones, and so I probably really don't have the manual flying skills that a lot of you folks have. So he sent me a big box of drones, including this BUGS 6. Now my understanding is this is a really fast, powerful drone, and in fact it's advertised as a racing drone, so has no GPS, and I'm not sure if it has a barometer for altitude hold. I don't really know, but it's pretty much manual flight. So it's been a while since I've in fact, it's, the last time I flew a drone with manual flight was probably the golden egg drone that you guys saw with the little wand. So you're going to watch me kind of figure this out on my own here. And I brought my wife Sarah with me, and she's got the GoPro Hero 7, and she is going to try and keep track of the drone with that as I fly it, or maybe even crash it. You never know. But anyway, let's quit messing around and let me see if I can get this thing in the air and probably give you guys a pretty good laugh. Okay, so I just was reading the manual, and the binding on this thing is a little bit different than what I'm used to. So you know, usually you just, the left stick you go up and then down, but this thing is telling me to press this red button here, turn on the remote. Oh, see if you can get a better view. Turn on the remote. I'm supposed to get 2 beeps. Yeah, I'm not hearing 2 beeps. I don't know. I'm going to turn it off, try that again. So it said to hold the button down, the red button, turn on the remote. Yeah, I'm saying the instruction manual on this thing is not worth a darn. Well, anyway, okay, let's try this. Let's plug in the drone and see if we can get it connected. And then it said I should hear a beep, and that'll tell me that the drone is connected. So I don't know, we're gonna find out here. Oh yeah, so okay, so I got a long beep there on the controller, so that's what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna set this down. Let's tilt the camera down here so you can see it. Yeah, you can see that there. Okay, so let me read the instructions here. So I need to do a horizontal calibration first, I believe. I read all this before I left, but when you're as old as me, you forget stuff fast. So it says that I shouldn't need to calibrate the controller, so I'm not going to do that. But the aircraft calibration for the gyro, it looks like we just put the controls down and to the right, and the rear light of the aircraft will be off, which they're off right now, but we're gonna do that anyway. Yeah, the rear light went off. So it's interesting. I see the left gimbal, the throttle is not spring loaded, so I assume down, you have to be down to be all the way off. And then and then there was some kind of weird way to arm the motors on this thing too, instead of the down and in that we're used to. So let me take a look at that. To unlock the aircraft, short press the red button, and a long beep will sound, and the rear lights of the aircraft will keep solid, and the motors will start turning. So let's give that a shot. Let's see if we can get this baby in the air. Yeah, it worked. Okay, Here goes nothing, kids. Wow. Yeah. So I'm flying it, but it's way different than what I'm used to. You can't let go of the sticks like you can on a. So let's go left, and then we'll go right. Wow.
Oh,
yeah. I hit the ground there. I had it far enough out that I couldn't see it, and I lost orientation. Okay, I think the lesson there is to keep it closer in. So let's try that again. I'll push the red button. And it did not start the motors. Oh, there it did. Short press. I held the button down too long. So it's kind of moving. Wow, it's the throttle control is difficult. So I'm trying to hover. It also seems a little bit erratic to me. So it's definitely different than what I'm used to, that's for sure. So just trying some banks, and like I said, the throttle, it's hard for me to modulate the throttle and keep it in a hover. So let's see if we can rotate it around, which we did. So I think this might be where that FT Aviator would come in handy. The problem is, what I'm noticing is once I get up to speed with it, I really have a hard time. So it's like it's moving on its own here. So I don't know if that's the wind or me. I think I made Sarah nervous there. The other part that I'm kind of having a problem with is keeping track of orientation. You know, you can mess that up with a GPS drone and figure out where you're at. Not so with this guy. Okay, I'm going to see if I can bring it in here and land it. See if I can successfully do that. So I'm bringing it closer to the ground. Well, I wouldn't call that a successful landing, but it was a landing. So the other thing that I see I need to remember here is it was on the ground there, and a couple of the props were, it was upside down, a couple of the props were still spinning, so you need to hit the red button to disarm it. I gotta tell you, this is interesting, and I thought about trying to use some of the trim buttons, but there's also just a little bit of a breeze here, so I don't know if that's affecting it or not, but it's definitely something that I will require a lot more practice with. Let's see if we can get it up in the air again. Okay, so the red button wants to arm the motors, and there they go. I'm going to see if I can just hover it here for a little bit. Man, it is hard, folks. And boy, whenever you have any input, any bank, you better give it some throttle, because it's heading right for the ground. So kind of, you know, I was hoping by now I'd be able to do a figure 8 or something, but definitely not. I don't know what I did there. It definitely, it did a good flip. And I got a beep, so that must be battery. Okay, let's see if we can bring it around.
Crashed.
Yeah, the controller was beeping, so I assumed that was battery, and we did a little bit of a crash landing.
Right.
Okay, so the controller is beeping and the aircraft is beeping too. So I'm pretty sure that, those I believe are the low battery warning. So I think if I hit this red button, it will shut down the drone. Yeah, it didn't. So evidently, you must need to just unplug it. I'm just for the fun of it, I'm going to see if it'll still arm. Yeah, it will. So you can see it armed there, but let's shut it down. So I held the red button and it indeed shut it down. So we're going to unplug this. So we unplugged the drone to shut it off, and then the controller is beeping because it's not talking anything. We'll just turn that off. So Sarah, this is what we call the walk of shame. We're going to walk back to the camera. That's what my friend Ron Brown would call it. He'd call it the walk of shame. Well, okay kids, we did the walk of shame there, and Ryan, I didn't destroy the Bug 6, but I'm telling you, that was a really humbling experience for me. And as I've told you guys before, you know, I'm not the best stick man, never have claimed to be, but I'll tell you, I was able to get it up in the air and hover it a little bit, but I never made a controlled descent, not once. Every time it landed, it hit the ground. But I could tell, Ryan, you warned me, and I think Tony McClendon warned me, that this is a powerful brushless motor drone, and man, it really is. Yeah, I mean, it is a humbling experience when you can't just let go of the sticks and let it hover. So for instance, what happens to me is, you know, whether I have the drone facing me or away, I get confused on the bank, right? If that's a GPS drone, it's no big deal. You see it banking the wrong way and you go, oh yeah, and then you just turn it around and go the other way because the drone will hover. This won't do that. By the time you hit this stick, it's gone about 20 yards. And then the obviously throttle control is really, really important. Whenever you're maneuvering at all, you have to give it more throttle, whether it's a bank or a yaw or forward flight or reverse flight. You have to increase the throttle while you're doing it. Gives me a lot of respect for what those ESCs do on a GPS drone. So yeah, I mean, what a fun little guy. I had fun, and man, I really appreciate Sarah recording this, and we'll get home and we'll take a look at the video, and we'll see how it looks. But in any case, this is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out, and if you like this kind of video, please subscribe to my channel. And most of all, I really appreciate you taking the time to look at these videos, and we will see you on the next one. And yeah, the BUGS 6 brushless motor non-GPS drone. What a riot. Thanks again, Ryan. See you guys later.